I just don't see it. I don't see a man having the courage to not only take a risk with me.
What's the risk?
Well, in love, it's a 50-50 risk. It's every person across the board, but I think that I am very vocal.
What do you bring to the table?
I don't know. I have a really long wingspan.
So a lot of times we have to take into consideration that it be mothers that are in love with their sons and jealous of their daughters. Because oftentimes when you're dealing with an unhealed woman, the son is the man that never left. And often
the wall is so thick it's got mothers turning their sons into husbands. That's absolutely disgusting. Your job is to raise him to be a respectable man, not raise him to be your husband. And the reason why those moms are doing that is because all the men they've had in their lives were garbage, and that's due to their poor choices. But they still blame men for their decision.
And I get come up to by this guy and his girlfriend, and we were interrupted in the middle of talking and eating, and he said, "Hey, Mia Khalifa, can I get a picture with you?" And I looked up at him and I'm like, "No, we're eating." And I said it just like that. Like it was a rude way, but it was also very rude for him to come up while someone was actively in the middle of a conversation. And after I said that, his girlfriend, who was standing next to him, grabbed him by the arm and said, "I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe." And I went into the bathroom and cried, and I didn't really know how to handle it, especially because it came from a woman, and especially because I was there for business, and it was something that had nothing to do with the adult industry, and I was just very dejected and embarrassed and felt like they would never want to work with me again.
That must have been really hurtful.
Yeah.
Did they end up working with you still after that?
Yeah, we're still on the contract.
Okay, good.
Well, what kind of response did she expect when she puts herself out there like that? And that comeback from that guy's girlfriend was GG. It most definitely left a mark on her. This is what is going to start happening when women hit the wall.
I just don't see it. I don't see a man having the courage to not only take a risk with me.
What's the risk?
Well, in love, it's a 50-50 risk. It's every person across the board, but I think that I am very vocal. But I also have met any men that, number one, see my value. They don't understand it. So that's why I don't really see.
So in other words, a man can't look outside of what he sees right here.
Well, this is gonna fade. So what else? So
right.
what makes me different than the girl that the builder down the who's willing to do whatever and she lets you cheat in private, or I'm sorry, in private, lets you cheat in private and do whatever. Like, beauty is fleeting. That's why there has to be more going on.
Right.
That's why I open my mouth and I speak and I stand for something, because this is, I'm always gonna be beautiful because I'm beautiful in here, but yeah, we all get older, and I don't want to bank on my looks. Why would anybody want to do that?
I don't blame the men for not seeing the value in her, and she knows damn well why they can't see it. A woman's past is going to be her biggest enemy when she's ready to settle down, especially when it's all over the world, in her case.
So my friends have always said, when you start dating or you get with somebody, make sure they are uglier than you are. Make sure they're, under a 6 out of 10. Because then they're not going to cheat on you. They won't think that you're instantly replaceable. They'll appreciate you more. Let me tell you, my ex-partner is a 4 out of 10. 5 at a push. Still did it anyway. Still cheated. Still went on dating sites. Still done whatever. So the moral of the story is, just go with the good-looking one anyway. Because they're going to do it. So at least when it does happen, it's a little bit less embarrassing.
Most people make this mistake and think just like this woman. But everyone cheats, whether they're ugly or not. It's not about looks. It's about a person's character and how much they value you in their life.
So a lot of times we have to take into consideration that it be mothers that are in love with their sons and jealous of their daughters. Because oftentimes when you're dealing with an unhealed woman, the son is the man that never left. And oftentimes he never left because he was at a stage in his journey where he couldn't leave. And if you manipulate him enough in life, he'll get to the point where he becomes a prisoner of your psychological warfare on his behalf, that he feels guilty for having his own life and his own experience, so he won't leave you. And he'll let the family that he came from ruin the family that came from him. It's a lot of mothers that ruin marriages. They ruin a lot of their sons' marriages. The mommies often be the problem, because the mothers are often in a position where they feel abandoned when they don't have jurisdiction and power over a man. And the only man that a woman will ever have real jurisdiction and power over is her son. Because even the man, even your husband, if he allows you that space and you think that you got jurisdiction and power over him, it is because he surrendered it to you in the name of love, but in the name of manipulation, you think you got over. So that's why a lot of women don't realize how deep the love of a man can go.
These mothers can't let go of their sons because they're living a beautiful marriage life they never had, and they become very jealous and try to keep him to herself. And that sort of behavior is creepy. You should be happy for your son, because they made better decisions than you did, and they also gotten to a point in their life which you couldn't.
I just had this realization that if I'm not using dating apps and I am not going out to clubs or bars, literally where do you meet someone to date? All of you guys who have boyfriends or girlfriends, like, how did you meet them? Because my main social outing for most of my life is work. And then you go to work, you see the same people you work with every day. Not going to date someone I work with. And then besides that, like, I'll go out with friends, but I don't want to meet someone online. I don't want to meet someone on a dating app. And like, of course I'll get like, you know, guys who message me on Instagram, but I feel like when someone messages you on Instagram, my first thought is always, well, how many other girls are you just messaging on Instagram? If you're in school, it's different, but if you're not in school, like, do people just come up to you? So, to all of you guys in relationships, are you real people? Or are you just like NPCs? Because like, where are you finding them? Are you all like actually in relationships? There's no way so many people are in relationships. I can't fathom it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called real life interaction. Actually going out and meeting people, approaching a guy and speak to him. That's the best way to start dating. But most women will not be approaching men because they fear rejection.
This morning, when I got into the shower after the gym, I turned the hot water on and I was like, oh, that feels so nice. That literally almost feels like a warm hug. That is how touch-starved I am. That is how touch-deprived I am. That I'm now taking comfort in the warmth of a shower on my body. And yeah, that's the point that we have reached. You know, and I was really enjoying it. I was like, the feeling of that hot water on my cold body, everything, it was doing everything for me. I felt held. I felt comforted. And, you know, am I single and miserable, or actually am I just being mindful and happy and, you know, enjoying the simple things in life, the simple pleasures? I'm not going to tell you which one it is.
Okay, so you're telling me that I've not eaten all day, I've gone to the gym, I've come in and had an everything shower, and I mean fucking everything. I have shaved my body head to toe to every inch of its fucking life. I have moisturised and oiled up. I smell unreal. I even got a new perfume. I have spent over an hour doing my hair and makeup. I've had about 7 tantrums trying to pick a nice outfit. I've packed a bag. I've even got a matching fucking set on. I've left the house for him to text me to cancel and ask if it's okay to reschedule. I'm done.
The Wall is literally undefeated. Subscribe.